Hello, this is Saturn J Blues, and today I want to open up this yap session with a phrase, and that phrase is Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. And it's a Latin phrase, so Persona 3 fans, it's an actual phrase. It wasn't just made for Persona, and I am throwing shade at one of my friends who thought that. Reason I bring that up is, and why I wanted to open this video up with it, is because there's been a lot of deaths, like not only celebrity deaths, but business, type deaths. This week alone. I mean, for one, VShojo just exploded on itself. It's actually crazy. Last week, they were highly regarded, for being a VTuber's, ideal company in terms of, letting them keep their IP and all of that stuff. Because, Hololive and, Ninja Sanji, they don't do that. And I'm not sure if Phase Connect does it, but VShojo was the top in doing it. And to see, and there had been a lot of whispers about it in terms of Matara Khan leaving, then Zentraya leaving, but Iron Mouse then left. And Iron Mouse is the face. That's literally if John Cena in the middle of his, from 2006 to 2015, his entire main run, decided he was just gonna leave. It's really big to have the face of the company walk out. That's for AEW if Hangman Page left. That's Cody Rhodes in AEW was a face, but he wasn't the face. Hangman Page is the face. So to have Iron Mouse, the face of your company, leave on that rough of terms, it practically killed VShojo overnight. Not only that, we had a lot of celebrity deaths. Malcolm Jamal Warner started it off, and that sucks because I was a fan of him. I grew up watching him as Theo Huxtable and on the Cosby Show. And admittedly, my favorite thing that he was in was the Key and Peele Black Republican sketches. I think Black Republicans are pretty cool and very diverse. And I actively quote it all the time. I think Blink is really cool. It's very diverse. I quote it nonstop. Ozzy Osbourne passed away. I know of him because I think they had a reality TV show, and I know that he was a band member on Black Sabbath. So I know that, but I never really listened to any of his music or anything like that. But I know that he was very beloved, and his death kind of hit. Another one I just passed today was I'm trying to think what. So he came from King of the Hill, and he was it looked like a trombone player, but a lot of people know of him, and I wish I can remember his name. It was his name was man, why is his name escaping me right now? But a lot of people knew of him, and he's passed away today. The biggest person that also passed away today is Hulk Hogan. And I'm gonna be so honest with you, when I first saw the news that he passed away, my reaction was, all right. And I'm a huge wrestling fan. I like opened my whole monologue, you know, talking about wrestling. But my love of wrestling runs deep. You know, when I grew up like having a NWO Macho Man teddy bear. Like I grew up watching The Rock and Stone Cold and, you know, Mick Foley, you know, Triple H. You know, I grew up with all of that. So wrestling is really like intertwined with me. And Hulk Hogan, I never liked Hulk Hogan, especially as I got older. Like at first, like before, like his whole racist beliefs came out, I didn't like him because when I was watching back like some of the old tapes that a family member recorded of like wrestling, like through the like early 90s, Hulk Hogan was always in Macho Man's way. Like Hulk Hogan acted like a heel the entire damn time, like back rakes, eye rakes, you know, hitting people with chairs. But he was always portrayed as the face when he would perform heelish actions. He always got into the spotlight of other wrestlers who were like up and coming, and it was especially bad in WCW. Like one of the stories from there is that when Brian Pillman left, like worked himself into a shoot in Hulk Hogan's words, and he took the Taskmaster to task and like went like, "I respect you, Booker Man," and then walked out. Hulk Hogan was like, "Yeah, I would love to work with that brother," and I just never liked him. And like I said, I'm a huge Macho Man fan, so throughout Macho Man's career, Hulk Hogan was always there. There was like only one exception, and that was when Macho Man won the WWF title the second time with Miss Elizabeth, the only time. And then the racism comes out, and Hulk Hogan and racism it's like a, I don't know how to word it, if it makes sense, because Hulk Hogan's racism ran so deep, and it was like such a weird, like, we all know that he was like, "My daughter, if my daughter has to date a black man, he needs to be a basketball star, brother. And I'm a racist. I say the N-word. I'm racist, brother." But the thing that stuck out to me the most was when he told his son Nicholas, who had been in jail for drunk driving and paralyzed his friend, I think put him in a coma that he still hasn't woken up from. I think he goes, "You know, we can't, like, we have to have good karma because I don't want to be reincarnated as a black man." And out of all the stuff that Hulk Hogan has said and done, and keep in mind, that's not even going into him, you know, endorsing, you know, the Scorpion himself and this administration that we're under, and, you know, wanting to body slam Kamala Harris. His words on how he doesn't even want to be reincarnated as a black man, that one, it sticks out to me so hard, because it's like, is being a black person that terrible that you don't want to be reincarnated? Like, we're just people. Good people, bad people, we're literally just people. Like, we're not like an endangered species or like some extraterrestrial, you know, that landed here recently. Like, we're not Koreans, okay? We're people, you know? And I never forgot that. And despite me not liking Hulk Hogan, I can respect that he put wrestling on the map. Not only, you know, before the new gen, you know, but also with the NWO. Like, the NWO is so deep in wrestling lore that the Bullet Club, like, the Bullet Club wouldn't be the Bullet Club without the NWO. Like, we wouldn't have Hangman, Adam Page, we wouldn't have Finn Balor, we would have AJ Styles, I would hope. We wouldn't have the Good Brothers, we wouldn't have Jay White. There's so many people that are in the Bullet Club that is actively, like, invaded the wrestling world. Like, no matter what company, you can find a member of the Bullet Club. And that's because of the NWO. And I love the NWO. Like I said, Macho Man was in it. Kevin Nash, big fan of Kevin Nash. Scott Hall, rest in peace. Six Pac, who was X-Pac. Scott Steiner, the lesser, Harlem Heat member, Stevie Ray. So, like, and then you had like all the add-ons like Fuck Money Virgil. But I always hated that. Oh, Horace Hogan. Mr. 1998, Horace Hogan. But Hulk Hogan, like, for me personally, I can acknowledge that Hulk Hogan did a lot for the wrestling world, but I can also acknowledge that he was a shit human being. And I'm not gonna say, haha, I'm glad he's dead, because I'm not. This, as much of a shit human being that he is, he has family and friends that will miss him. And I hate his views, his MAGA views and things like that. I despise it. But, like, he's not the person that needs to be gone. Hulk Hogan, at the end of it all, after all the years and things like that, he put wrestling on the map, but he is a despised human being. And also, not only that, the absolute gall to bring Peter Thiel into the world and then, endorse the Scorpion as the president just to die immediately after. Like, you won't even see the horror. Like, you helped usher in dark times, and you won't even get to live through it. Dick move, Hulk Hogan. Like the fact that when Macho Man passed away, people were like, Macho Man, stop the apocalypse. Macho Man elbow dived off the top rope to save us all. Like, people loved Macho Man. The Ultimate Warrior, his death kind of stung people because he had literally given a speech like the day before he passed away. So it was like a goodbye, like he knew his time was up, but he was also an awful human being. But a lot of people, have like mixed feelings on the Ultimate Warrior. I don't. I did not like the Ultimate Warrior, and I do not like Hulk Hogan. I can know that he's been a big name in this, in the thing that I love, while also despising him. Well, despising is a harsh word. I really dislike him because there's only one person I sincerely hate, and Hulk Hogan is nowhere near the top of the list. Like, that, it is what it is. Like, there's only one person that I hate with every fiber of my being. Hulk Hogan is nowhere near that. He's like 10th place on my hate list at least. Like, but I understand how, but just kind of looking at all the threads of seeing Hulk Hogan go, people are like, smoking that pack and pack watch, and he's looking up at us. It's like, it's crazy, but it's like, at the end of the day, I don't like Hulk Hogan. I do hope that I do hope that he learns in the afterlife that his hatred of, you know, people like me comes back to bite him in the ass. That's my only hope. And I hope he can learn from it, truly learn from it. Because there's only a few people in the world that I find irredeemable, both alive and dead. And Hulk Hogan, he's not on the list. He's just your bog standard racist dude from Florida, you know, who happens to be the biggest name in wrestling. It's like, whatever. Like, I feel more hurt about losing Malcolm Jamar Warner, especially in the methods of how he passed away, which was by drowning. And at the age of like 54, where like he should be in his twilight, enjoying, you know, enjoying the fruits of his labor, you know. Or like Ozzy Osbourne, you know, even though I don't know much about him, except that he bit the head of a bat, you know, that one time. Or was it a dove? I think it was a bat and a dove. You know, I'm more hurt about those two and the poor trumpet player. I don't know what his name is, and it's killing me right now because I'm like, it's not fair for me to have, you know, all these names and then not know this poor person's name. And it's gonna bug me until I figure out who that person was. Chuck Mangione. There we go. The jazz singer. Okay, there we go. Chuck Mangione. I hope I'm saying his last name right. I'm so sorry. I have done a terrible disservice to this guy. Rest in peace, Chuck. I'm so sorry. And I love jazz too. That's what makes it even worse. That's what makes this even worse. But I wanted to kind of get my thoughts out about Hulk Hogan, you know, because like of how close, you know, like, because he did build up the sport that I love, and he's an awful person, and I just hope in the afterlife he changes. Also, Chuck E. Cheese, Charles Entertainment Cheese was arrested today on by the Tallahassee, you know, police for credit card fraud. So that also kills a little bit of my childhood. I had to end it light. But yes, this has been Blues with you know, I've been trying to stop saying, you know, with Saturn Blues Gaming, because I'm the only dude on here. So I'm like, there's no other person a part of this but me. So this has been Saturn J Blues, and this has been breaking news. I guess this would be breaking news. Yeah, you know what? Or like the mid-weekly recap or something. I don't know what this is. Don't hold me to this. Okay, well, goodbye.